What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with another fun-filled vlog here in the mountains of Blue Ridge, Georgia. Yes, we are out here at Expedition Bigfoot. This museum right here, it has perhaps some of the best artifacts on the proof in the existence of Bigfoot. For example, here in the Chet-guthrie National Forest, these big green spots, these are where Bigfoot has been sighted. So today, you guys, let's take an adventure. Let's go into the mountains, or a smaller building in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia, and let's go after Bigfoot. Anchor down. But real quick before we go inside, check out the size of this statue of Bigfoot. Now it does look like it is sticks attached to a statue, and that thing stands about a good 12 feet tall. So, I mean, it's about the right size for the beast himself. I believe they say that he stands anywhere between about 7 and 12 feet tall. Does look like they've got themselves a Mount Everest kind of look. Like, for example, like Sasquatch. We have a lantern. We have some camping gear. And looks like we have stuff from the Antarctica expedition. And I think we're already starting to see some big feet, because those are some really awesome carvings. I think how they do these is they use chainsaws. Welcome to Expedition Bigfoot. Time to see the amazement. Now, we just came in here and I watched the welcome video, but it looks right here that there are a few sightings out here in Kentucky than where we're at right now, here in Georgia. Looks like there might be a possible cave out there. That's not far from where we're at. And there is North Carolina. So without further ado, you guys, let's take a trip into Expedition Everest. One of the things that Bigfoot will do to leave their path and their marks is they'll take and they'll snap trees. And they actually have an example from the Blue Ridge Mountains right here. And this right here, if you can believe it, this is a giant Bigfoot turd that was found in southern Oregon in 2016. And that thing is crappy big. And this is another really cool display that they have here. Apparently Bigfoots have been known to use shovels or digging tools, which makes sense, especially if it's Native American, or if they're since they're of the ape family. And this foot right here, this was discovered in 2019 by a park ranger here in Georgia, and the frost mushroom. Now, some of the things that they'll do for Bigfoot is they'll leave out gifts like apples and whatnot. And one of the things that they'll leave, like such locations such as the Giving Tree, is they'll lay rocks and take the apple. And they have a partial footprint right here, and another digging stone. This is some other examples of what was left at the Giving Tree site, such as a rock, berries, and more small rocks. And just a few more things as well, such as a raccoon skull and another few artifacts here. And now this is a really cool story, this right here. But it was in the 1980s in Dahlonega, Georgia. A helicopter had crashed in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and some of the men who had crashed out there, they all lived, but there was a group of Bigfoot that allegedly attacked them. And this is some of the artifacts left over from that helicopter. And now, since this is a Bigfoot museum, we have an original skunk ape Bigfoot print. Now, if y'all don't know what a skunk ape is the Bigfoot that inhabits South Florida and Central Florida. This kind of talks a little bit more about skunk ape, but if you want to get a better idea, these are just a few of the articles written. This gun was used to actually hunt skunk ape. It does look like there are a few tranquilizer darts. So those type of anesthetics, they could probably knock out a black bear. That was pretty cool. In there was a movie that was playing on a loop, so I didn't want to bug those people too much, but those are probably some of the best artifacts that you will see around, period. So we're gonna check out the rest of this museum. Oh, now this is cool. Our first real exhibit that we're gonna check out is the Abominable Snowman. Okay, now maybe this can get better. This is a replica of a hand that was brought back from Nepal. And from the story I've heard from this is when they did DNA testing on this, on the original, it came back as something that science had not seen yet. And apparently this is the original cast that was found back in 1959. And that is scary. But apparently these masks right here, they were used on Monster Quest, which was an old show on the History Channel. Here in this case, this is a Yeti scalp. Now this one, I think it is a replica, but there is another one that is obtained and used, and this skull cap is really, really big. Like, for example, I have a big head. That is way bigger. This is an this is an exhibit on the Nephilim, or in British Columbia's culture, how they represent Bigfoot. Where really, that's where the first real Bigfoot sightings first really happened. British Columbia, Alaska, and Oregon. And they even have a really, really cool knuckle print that was found in 1982. And now this is some actual, or purportedly actual, Bigfoot hair. Looks like it was found in Cohutta State Park in 2015. And now this is another replica, but this is an artist rendering of what Bigfoot would have looked like 1,000 years ago. This one looks like this is quote-unquote Cripplefoot. Looks like this Bigfoot had a rather bad foot problem. And this is the twin to the Cripplefoot. Here's the normal foot, and here's the regular foot, or the crippled foot of Cripplefoot. Now, if you thought Bigfoot had some really big feet, this is a cast from his hand in 1986. That's size comparison. This thing was humongous. And if you're a fan of the old sci-fi show Expert or Destination Truth, this is Josh Gates' actual foot, or footprint or cast that he did. Josh Gates is a rather interesting individual. I kind of look up to him, and hopefully one day maybe I can live up to his honor. Why does this Bigfoot look so sad? I mean, look at his face. His eyes are just like glimmering. Or maybe, just maybe, he wants to eat me. This was found in 1995. And this was found in South Africa. And anyway, that is an actual cast of what they believe to be a Nephilim, or I should say, a giant's foot. Which kind of leads into another story. This what happened in Wisconsin a few years ago, about 150, but they were out at a mound and they were digging, and they found a group of 18 skeletons of abnormally large hominid creatures. And this right here is a replica of what one of those skulls and how big they were. It's kind of been one of those mysteries, and it's honestly been lost to time. Well, this is honestly a beautiful casting. This was a butt cast of Bigfoot from 1993, found all the way out in Washington. I guess he must have been a real butthole. And now there are some etchings here, drawings as well. Kind of gives you an idea of how Bigfoot is compared to a large-sized man. And that's a really awesome drawing as well. This Bigfoot looks like he's just ready to go home. This is from the Sasquatchin with Barb and Gabby YouTube show, or YouTube channel. And these are a few artifacts that they believe likely were messed with by Bigfoot. Now that is really cool. Now this has always been perhaps one of my most favorite charts. This is a group of skeletons that have been found throughout human history. Like in the 1950s, you had one in Turkey that stood about 10-15 feet tall. From France, that was found in 1456, which was only about 600 or 700 years ago. And this one as well. I don't know about that one. That was kind of far bit of ways years ago. It does look like there are a group of men that are trying to keep a Bigfoot out. And there is a gun right there. But the reason why this is here is back in the 1930s in Mount St. Helens, there was a group of coal miners that were out there hunting. And later on in the night, they had a bit of a guest. It was a Bigfoot attack. And quite honestly, these men, they didn't think that they were going to make it. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are two glowing red eyes staring back at us right there. And now it does look like they have a small one dedicated to the Yeti. This is the Yeti print cast replica found in 1951. And now the strange thing about this is this was found like close to like a mile away from well, I should say the footprints, they went for about a mile, but they were out in the middle of nowhere in the Himalayas. And that's just a better representation of what these prints looks like. This is cool. This is an actual cart that was used for Bigfoot expeditions out in Florida for the, well, in search of the alleged skunk ape. Looks like they've got some footage right there. And now this is a really, really cool display. Boggy Creek was a film made sometime back in the 1980s. And where it's at, it's actually out between Texas and Arkansas. And it was a movie that was made because Boggy Creek, there were just so many Bigfoot sightings and things that were happening. And actually, this is an actual artifacts from the Herb Jones shack, which most of the movie was centered around. That, honestly, I am shaking a little bit, because that, with this being one of my favorite movies, like documentary movies, this is, gosh, this is crazy. And since we just mentioned Falk, Arkansas, where Boggy Creek is, this is another artifact where the curator found well, the remains of his dog's pen. Mind officially blown. That was way more awesome in person. I'm definitely enthused. I'm definitely gonna have to bring my friend Mr. Nomad Ben back here. Yes, Ben, we need to come out here. And I say we probably even need to do a group collab. And we need to, yes, we need to go camping to find the alleged Bigfoot. But anyway, guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome content. So without further ado, you guys, vlog over.